Good morning to everyone. Myself B. Tulsi Koteswari, lecturer in chemistry, Sir CRR College for Women, Eluru. I am dealing the subject chemistry for semester 5, paper 5A, whose title is Inorganic, Organic and Physical Chemistry. In this video, I am explaining the topic stability of metal complexes, which belongs to the second unit. In this video, I am explaining the subtopics kinetic stability, thermodynamic stability, factors affecting stability of metal complexes. First of all, I am explaining the stability of metal complexes. The ease of formation of complexes depends upon the position of the central element in the periodic table and also its oxidation state. So the stability of the complex increases with the increase of the atomic number in a particular series of transitional metals. That is, while going in 3D series from left to right, atomic number increases, then the stability of the complex also increases. In groups means from top to bottom. The stability of the complex increases with the decrease of the size of the element provided it is in the same oxidation state. So the element which is having the smallest size will form more stable complexes. The following two types of stabilities are considered during the formation and reactions of complexes. These two are kinetic stability and thermodynamic stability. Kinetic stability. We all are familiar with the word kinetic. Kinetic means it deals with the rate. So the kinetic stability refers to the rate of a particular reaction of a complex. That is, for example, substitution means the one ligand is replaced by another ligand. In such reactions, kinetic stability refers to that rate of a reaction. And also another example is isomerization. Isomerization means change of one isomer to another. For example, change of cis isomer to trans. In that reaction also, the rate of a particular reaction is given by kinetic stability. And another example is racemization. Racemization means the change of one form to another form. That is, D isomer is changed to L. These two are combinedly known as racemic mixture. So the change of D isomer to L isomer is refers to as racemization. In these three reactions, rate of reaction of a complex deals with the kinetic stability. Thus, in the kinetic sense, complexes should be named as labile and inert. Labile complexes means these are reactive. Inert means these are highly stable. What are labile complexes? The complexes in which displacement of ligand by other ligand is very rapid, very fast. Such complexes are known as labile complexes. Under such conditions, the isomers can't be isolated. Hence, the labile complexes do not show isomerism because in labile complexes the displacement is very rapid, so these does not form isomers. Complexes in which displacement of the ligand by other ligand is very slow. Such reactions, such complexes are known as inert complexes. So, inert complexes are highly stable, labile complexes are highly reactive. Here in inert complexes, having more stable arrangement can be isolated and thus inert complexes show isomerism. The rate of reactions of inert complexes can be studied by known methods in chemical kinetics topic. So kinetic stability should not be confused with thermodynamic stability because thermodynamic stability implies inertness, that is the complex which is thermodynamically stable, which is inert in nature, but inert complexes may not be thermodynamically stable. That is, all inert complexes may not be thermodynamically stable. One example for such a complex is CONH3 6 times 3 plus in aqueous solution is said to be inert, but the complex is thermodynamically unstable since it contains the volatile ligands such as ammonia molecules. Second one is thermodynamic stability. Thermodynamic stability is a measure of the extent of formation of a complex under specific conditions at the equilibrium state. That is, kinetic stability refers to the rate of a reaction. Thermodynamic stability measures the extent of formation of a complex. The formation of a complex in solution, example on the addition of neutral ligands L to the metal M, takes place in stepwise manner. It is given as M is the metal and L is the neutral ligand. When neutral ligand is added to the metal, then a complex is formed such as Ml, where K1 is the stability constant for first step. So which is given by the concentration of the product by concentration of the reactants. In this step, the product is Ml and the reactants are M and L. So K1 is given by concentration of Ml by concentration of M into concentration of L. The square brackets represents the concentration. So this is the first step. In the second step, another new ligand is added to the complex of the first step. That is, L is added to Ml. So another new complex is formed, which is Ml2. In the second step, K2 is the stability constant, which is given by concentration of Ml2 by concentration of Ml into concentration of L. Next, in the third step, another new ligand L is added to the complex already formed in the second step. That is, L is added to Ml2. Then a new complex Ml3 is formed. In this step, K3 is the stability constant or formation constant or thermodynamic stability constant. K3 is equal to concentration of Ml3 by concentration of Ml2 into L. So on proceeding like this, we get the nth step as L. Ligand L is added to the complex formed in the n-1 step. So which is given as MLn-1 plus L gives rise to MLn. So in this step, the formation constant or stability constant is represented as Kn. N means the nth step. Kn is equal to concentration of MLn by concentration of MLn-1 into L, where K1, K2, K3 and Kn are stepwise stability constants or formation constants. These arrow marks represents the equilibrium state. So thermodynamic stability measures the extent of formation of a complex under specific conditions when the equilibrium state is attained. Since a ligand already present on a metal ion repels the incoming ligand of the same type, because already ligand consists of lone pair of electrons, the new ligand is also consists of electrons. Both are having same charge. The both are having the same charge. So already present ligand repels the incoming ligand. Hence, the values of the formation constants will decrease. That is, it is in the order as K1 is greater than K2, K2 is greater than K3, which is greater than and so on Kn. That is, the formation constant in the first step is high. Formation constant in the second step is low because the ligand already present in the first step repels the entering ligand. So it is evident from the values of log K1, log K2, log K3 and log Kn for the complexes formed between the metal ion copper 2 plus and ammonia are given as log K1 is 4.3, log K2 is 3.6, log K3 is 3.0 and log K4 is 2.3. That is, there is a decrease from K1 to K4 respectively. The product of various formation constants of a complex is called cumulative stability constant. That is, the product of K1, K2, K3 and so on Kn is known as cumulative stability constant. It is represented by K or beta. Thus, for the formation of above complex, M plus N ligands gives rise to MLN is given as K. K is known as the cumulative stability constant, which is equal to product of K1, K2, K3 and so on Kn, which is equal to concentration of MLN by concentration of M into concentration of L whole power N, which is also represented by beta. Beta or K is known as cumulative stability constant. The symbol log beta is used to measure the stability of the ultimate complex. Applying logarithm to the above equation, we get log beta. For example, log beta for copper ammonium complex CuNH3 4 times 2 plus is given as log beta is equal to log of K1 into K2 into K3 into K4. That is, log of A into B into C into D is equal to log A plus log B plus log C plus log D. So, which is written as log K1 plus log 2 plus log K3 plus log K4. These values are log K1 value is 4.3, log K2 value is 3.6, log K3 value is 3.0 and log K4 value is 2.3. While adding these four values, we get the total value as 13.2. That is, log beta in this case for this complex is given as 13.2. For any complex, log beta value exceeds 8, that is more than 8, then that complex will be more stable. Hence, this complex is also stable, thermodynamically stable. Next topic I am explaining is factors affecting stability of metal complexes. There are number of factors which affects the stability of a metal complexes. First factor is nature of the central ion. In general, the greater the ionic potential of a metal ion, higher will be its tendency to attract the electrons of the ligand and hence more stable will be the complex. That is, the metal ion with greater ionic potential. Ionic potential is the ratio between charge and size. So, metal ion is having greater ionic potential, that is the greater value of ratio of charge and size will attract the electrons of the ligand to higher level. Hence, it forms more stable complex. Thus, the metal ion with greater charge and smaller size, that is, the numerator value is high and denominator value is low, then that ratio will be more, then ionic potential will be more, and hence that metal ion forms more stable complexes. That is, the greater the charge and smaller the size of the central metal ion, greater will be the stability of the complex. For this, I am giving one example. For example, the complexes of iron 3 plus ion and iron 2 plus ion are considered. The complexes of iron 3 plus ion are more stable since these are having greater ionic potential. Ionic potential is represented with a letter phi. Phi of iron 3 plus is given as charge to radius ratio. Here the charge is 3. 3 by its radius is 0.67. So phi of Fe plus 2 is calculated as its charge is 2, its radius is 0.76. So from these two, the phi value of iron 3 plus is greater because the numerator value is greater and denominator value is less. So the ratio is higher. So iron 3 plus ion is having higher ionic potential. So it forms more stable complexes where phi stands for ionic potential. The above view is supported by following two facts. So first one is the stability of the complexes of the some cations having same charge. Charge is same, that is numerator is same, but difference in the different ions are having decreasing with the increase in ionic radii. Ionic radii is different. Some cations are having the same charge, but these are having different radius. That is, the two examples are given. Here, some ions, copper 2 plus, nickel 2 plus, cobalt 2 plus, iron 2 plus, and manganese 2 plus. For all these five ions, charge is same, numerator is same, plus 2. So, the ion which is having the smaller ionic radii will form more stable complexes. From these five ions, copper ion is having smaller ionic radii, so it forms more stable complex. So the ions having the same charge but different ionic radii decreases with increase in the ionic radii. From copper to manganese, ionic radii increases from 0.69 to from 0.91. So copper ion forms more stable complexes. Manganese ion forms less stable complexes due to higher value of ionic radii. Another example is from beryllium. Beryllium 2 plus, magnesium 2 plus, calcium 2 plus, strontium 2 plus and barium 2 plus. All these ions are having the same charge, that is 2, but their ionic radii is different. Beryllium is having the smallest ionic radii, forms more stable complex. Barium is having the highest ionic radii, 1.15, forms less stable complex. Next, second type is the stability of the complexes formed by cations having almost constant ionic radii, that is, in the denominator is same in the ionic potential formula. So, in such cases, the cations having the constant ionic radii, then ionic potential decreases with the decrease of cationic charge. So the stability of the complexes of lanthanum 3 plus, strontium 2 plus and potassium plus are considered. These three are having the almost same ionic radii, but their charge is different. So the ion with greater charge will form more stable complex. Therefore, lanthanum 3 plus forms more stable complex than strontium 2 plus than potassium plus. Since lanthanum is having plus 3 charge, strontium is having plus 2 charge, potassium is having plus 1 charge. So, lanthanum is having highest charge, so it forms more stable complex. Hence, the stability of complexes is given by lanthanum plus 3 greater than strontium 2 plus greater than potassium plus. Next, second factor is electronegativity of the central ion. What is electronegativity? Electronegativity means tendency of gaining electrons. So, we are all know that the ligands donates electron pairs to the metal ion. So, the higher electronegativity of the central ion, that is the central ion accepts the electrons donated by ligands easily and forms more stable complexes. This is because the bonding between a central ion and a ligand is due to the donation of electron pairs by ligands. When the metal ion having greater electronegativity, it easily accepts the electrons donated by ligands and forms more stable complexes. So finally, the central ion having higher electronegativity forms more stable complexes. Next, third factor is electronic configuration of the central ion. In general, most stable complexes are obtained from the ions of transitional elements because transitional elements are having vacant n-1 d orbitals. These orbitals accommodate the electrons donated by ligands and forms more stable complexes. Next, fourth factor is effective atomic number of the metal, which is also represented by EAN rule. According to this rule, a metal ion having effective atomic number equal to the atomic number of next noble gas will form the more stable complex. So the metal ion satisfies EAN rule, that is the metal ion having effective atomic number is equal to the atomic number of next noble gas. It will form more stable complexes. The effective atomic number of a metal ion in a complex is obtained by the following formula. EAN is equal to, E means effective, A means atomic, N means number. EAN is equal to atomic number of the metal minus number of electrons lost in ion formation, that is oxidation number, plus electrons gained by coordination, that is electrons gained from ligands. Each ligand donates 2 electrons, that is this is given as 2 into coordination number. This will give the effective atomic number. When this effective atomic number is equal to the atomic number of next noble gas, then that complex will be more stable. Next factor is nature of the ligand. The ligand which can donate its lone pair of electrons more easily to the central metal ion is said to be more basic, and hence it will form more stable complexes. That is, the ligands which can donate lone pair of electrons easily to the central metal ion forms more stable complexes. Thus, strong bases like Cn-, F- and ammonia are good ligands. They can donate the lone pair of electrons easily to the central metal ion and form more stable complexes with more electropositive metals like sodium, calcium, aluminum, titanium and iron. In case of negative ligands means ligands having the negative charge. The higher the charge and smaller the size, that is charge is high and size is small, then that forms more stable complexes. Thus, the stability of complexes involving halide ions as ligands follows the order. F minus greater than Cl minus greater than Br minus greater than I minus. That is, by going from fluoride ion to iodide ion, size increases and charge decreases. So the stability of the complex also decreases. So fluoride ion forms more stable complexes, iodide ion forms least stable complexes. In case of neutral ligands means ligands does not having any charge. The larger the permanent dipole moment, the neutral ligand having larger the permanent dipole moment, then that forms more stable complexes. For example, considering ammonia, ethylamine, diethylamine, triethylamine, the neutral ligand which is having greater permanent dipole moment will form more stable complex. The order is ammonia greater than, ethylamine greater than, diethylamine greater than, triethylamine. Among these, ammonia is having greater dipole moment, so it forms more stable complexes. Next factor is environmental factors. There are two environmental factors. One is temperature, another one is pressure. First of all, we study the temperature. The effect of temperature can be twofold. First one is The compounds, coordination compounds containing volatile ligands. Volatile ligands means when the compound is heated, these ligands are converted into vapor state. Examples for that volatile ligands are water, ammonia and ethylene diamine. When the compounds containing volatile ligands, these are less stable at elevated temperatures. That is, these are less stable at higher temperatures and commonly undergo decomposition on heating. That is, when coordination compound containing volatile ligands is heated at higher temperature, these volatile ligands are converted into vapor state, converted from solid state into vapor state. Then stability will be decreased. Examples for these is are CONH3 6 times Cl3 is heated at 175 to 180 degrees. One ammonia molecule, ammonia is the volatile ligand, one ammonia molecule is converted into vapor state. That is, it comes out of the coordination sphere. So, to satisfy the six secondary valency, one chloride ion jumps into the coordination sphere and the another new complex is formed. That is CONH3 5 times Cl2 plus NH3. Another example is chromium. En means ethylene diamine thrice Cl3. When this complex is heated at 210 degrees centigrade, one ethylene diamine molecule is converted into vapor state, so it comes out of the coordination sphere. Since it is a bidentate ligand, to satisfy the sixth secondary valency, two chloride ions from the ionization sphere jump into the coordination sphere and forming a new complex such as CrEn twice Cl2, Cl plus En. So, in such case also stability decreases. The temperature will be twofold. Second one is certain coordination compounds are changed from one form to another form. Example for this is AgHgAgI4, which is red colored complex. It changes to Ag2HgI4, which is yellow in color. So, when temperature is changed, these two types of changes occurs. First one is volatile ligands are converted into vapor state, or one form of the complex is changed to another form. Then stability decreases. While going to the pressure, similarly reduction in pressure, that is when pressure is reduced, pressure is decreased, the above compound usually results in the loss of volatile compounds. That is when pressure is decreased, the volatile ligands comes to vapor state. Next factor is role of the solvent. The solvent used during the synthesis of a complex, that is solvent used during the formation of a complex, must be a weaker ligand than the ligand to be introduced in the complex. Because it is a stronger ligand, then it coordinates, the solvent itself coordinates with the metal, forms another complex. So the solvent must act like a weaker ligand than the ligand to be introduced in the complex. Example for this is the synthesis of halo complexes. Examples NiCl4 2 minus and COCl4 2 minus. These are carried out in non-aqueous solvents. Non-aqueous solvents means solvents which does not contains water. Because when water is used, water coordinates itself with the nickel and cobalt, forms different complexes. So here non-aqueous solvents like alcohol is used because alcohol is weaker ligand than here chloride ion. Another factor is concentration factors. Certain complexes may exist in water solution only in presence of a high concentration of a coordinating particles. Coordinating particles means ligands. That is, certain complexes exist in water only in presence of high concentration of ligands. So, since in such cases, water molecules apparently have greater coordinating tendencies. than the molecules or ions originally present. Example for this is considering this complex CuCl4 2 minus. This is yellow in color in the solid state. When dissolved in water, then it becomes dilute. That is, the chloride ions concentration decreases. So in that place, the water molecules coordinates to the copper ion, since water molecules having greater coordinating tendencies here. So it forms CuH2O X times 2 plus, which is pale blue colored complex. So what happened here? When water is added, chloride ions are diluted and its concentration is decreased. So the another complex is formed, that is pale blue color complex of CuH2O X times 2 plus is formed. So while adding chloride ions, that is while increasing the concentration of chloride ions to this complex, see the backward reaction. While increasing the concentration of chloride ions, that is chloride ions are supplied in terms of HCl, then chloride ion concentration increases, our original complex will be formed, that is CuCl4 2 minus. Similarly, the blue complexes of cobaltous ion of the type COCNS 4 times 2 minus undergoes the changes as represented below. The tetrathiocyanocobaltous complex, that is COCNS 4 times 2 minus, which is blue in color. While water is added to this complex, it is blue in the solid state. When dissolved in the water, then water is having greater coordinating tendencies to cobalt. So it forms COH2O 6 times 2 plus, then it changes to pink color. So while increasing the concentration of CNS ions by supplying 4 CNS minus ions, then the original complex is formed, that is COCNS 4 times 2 minus. Another example is here, uh, here water is not added but the ligands are changed. FeCNS 6 times 2 plus 2 minus, 2 minus complex is dark reddish brown in color. So to this, fluoride ions are added. Here the fluoride ions are having greater coordinating tendencies than CNS minus ions. So CNS minus ions are substituted by fluoride ions, forming another complex, that is FeF6 3 minus, which is colorless complex. So while increasing the CNS minus ions, then the original complex is formed, which is dark reddish brown in color. So by consolidating this, certain complexes will stable only in water when the presence of high concentration of the ions. That is high concentration of chloride ions in the first complex, high concentration of Cn minus ions in the second complex, high concentration of CNS minus in the third complex. Next factor is nature of the ion outside the coordination sphere. We know that the coordination compound consists of two spheres, coordination sphere and ionization sphere. The portion written inside the square brackets is known as coordination sphere, and the portion written outside the coordination sphere is known as ionization sphere. Whenever the ionization sphere of the coordination compound contains ions like Cn minus, SCN minus, Cl minus, Br minus, C2O4 2 minus and NO2 minus, there is a greater tendency of the above ions to shift from ionization sphere to coordination sphere on thermal heating. Then also stability decreases. When these ions are present in the ionization sphere, when the compound is heated, these jumps into coordination sphere. On the other hand, the ions like NO3 minus and ClO4 minus ions are present in the ionization sphere. These show little or no such tendency. That is, when nitrate ions or perchlorate ions are present in the ionization sphere, these does not shift inside the coordination sphere. Hence, complete absence of coordination reactions is usually assured in presence of perchlorate ions. Next, last factor is ring formation. This is also known as chelate effect, which is the important factor for the stability of the complexes. Chelates means ring-like molecules. So, the strain-free ring structure formed by one or more chelating ligands with the metal ions is known as chelation or ring formation. So, what are chelating ligands? In general, certain polydentate ligands are having more than one donor atoms. Polydentate means it having more than one donor atoms. So these occupy more coordinate positions in a complex around a metal ion and forms ring-like structure. So, such ligands which forms ring-like structure are known as chelating ligands, and that complexes are known as chelates, and that process is known as chelation, and that complexes are more stable than non-chelated complexes. That is, the polydentate ligands which forms ring-like complexes are known as ring-like structure are known as chelating ligands. That is, every polydentate ligand may not act as chelating ligand. That is, all polydentate ligand does not form ring-like structured molecules. So, because these must form strain-free ring structured complex, then only it is known as a chelating ligand. Examples for chelating ligands are ethylene diamine, whose formula is CH2 single bond CH2 NH2 NH2. This is a bidentate ligand. These consists of two donor atoms, two donor nitrogen atoms. One is first nitrogen, second one is second nitrogen. Here the arrow mark is placed such that it donates lone pair of electrons to the central metal ion through these two nitrogen atoms and forms a chelated ring, 5-membered chelated ring. Another best example for the chelating ligand is EDTA. EDTA, whose name is ethylene diamine tetraacetate. It is a hexadentate ligand, that is, it consists of 6 donor atoms. Its formula is starts from ethylene. Ethylene is formula CH2 single bond CH2. Diamine, here one nitrogen, here one nitrogen. To these two nitrogens, 4 acetate groups are attached. CH2COO minus, CH2COO minus. For second nitrogen also 2 acetate groups, CH2COO minus, CH2COO minus. The arrow mark placed atoms are donor atoms. This is first donor atom, oxygen. This is second donor atom. This is third one. This is fourth one. And these two. Totally, ethylene diamine tetraacetate consists of 6 donor atoms, so it is known as hexadentate ligand. That is, this only one ligand occupies 6 coordinate positions around the central metal ion and forms octahedral complex. It forms complexes even with heavy metals also. These two are chelated complexes. That is CuE and twice 2 plus. This is one ethylene diamine molecule. This is one ethylene diamine molecule. These two ethylene diamine molecules forms two 5-membered rings with Cu2 plus ions. Cu is placed in the central position. To this, the two nitrogens of first ethylene diamine molecules donates electron pairs and forms two coordinate covalent bonds. This is one 5-membered ring. This is second ligand. In this second ethylene diamine molecule, these two nitrogens donates lone pair of electrons to copper and forms this second 5-membered ring. That is, this complex consists of two 5-membered rings. That is, 5-membered ring means ring includes 5 atoms. 2 nitrogens here, 2 carbons and 1 copper. So this complex is more stable than non-chelated complex such as CuNH3 4 times 2 plus. Another example is EDTA, which is a hexadentate ligand. So so it forms more stable complexes with the large ions such as calcium. COEDTA minus. Here the central metal is CO. It is placed in the center of the octahedral complex. These two and these are six coordinate positions. So it is viewed from the right hand side. First, this is the one, the coordinate positions. This is second coordinate position. Here two nitrogens are placed. Two nitrogens of EDTA. Between these two nitrogens, ethylene group is there. CH2 single bond CH2. To these two nitrogen atoms, two S-type groups are present. One is CH2CO O minus. This is the donor atom. It occupies one coordinating position. This is the second S-type group, CH2COO minus. This oxygen is the second donor atom. So here three donor atoms, two donor oxygens, one donor nitrogen. Here for this nitrogen, two S-type groups are there, CH2COO. This O occupies the coordination position. Second group is CH2COO. This oxygen also is placed in the coordination position. That is, only one ligand occupies 6 coordinate positions and forms more stable complex. Each will have a 5-membered ring. See this. One cobalt, oxygen, carbon, carbon, nitrogen. Here cobalt, oxygen, carbon, carbon, nitrogen. Cobalt, nitrogen, carbon, carbon, nitrogen. Everything is a 5-member ring. So it is a chelated complex. So chelated complexes are more stable than non-chelated complexes. In general, the more the rings in a complex, more will be its stability. That is, the complex having more number of rings, it forms highly stable complex. In general, the more size of the ring, the more will be its stability. That is, 5-membered rings and 6-membered rings are present when 6-membered ring is more in size. That is, it consists of 6 atoms. So it will form more stable complexes. These are the list of reference books for this unit also. Coincides Coordination Chemistry by Gopalan and Ramalingam. Coordination Chemistry by Basalo and Johnson. Coincides Inorganic Chemistry by J.D. Lee. Advanced Inorganic Chemistry Volume 1 by Satyaprakash Tuli, Basu and Mathan. Thank you.